Hello everybody, I'm excited to be back with you this week and for us to talk a little bit more about scripture and a Bible story and what we should do because of it. So this week we are going to be talking about hospitality. Does anybody know what that word means? It's this big, long, confusing word that really just means being kind and welcoming. So it kind of means, you might have heard it at a restaurant. They might have been very hospitable by our hospitality staff at a hotel, welcoming you in and getting you what you need. Your parents may use the phrase when guests are coming over. It's about being kind and generous and making sure people feel like they belong. And so our story today is from this story Bible again. If you have one at home, it'll be on page 366. If you don't worry. I'm going to read it for us, and I'm going to have screenshots and pictures of pages that we're on, and I'll put them on the screen for us as I read. So, as I read, I want you to pay attention to how Mary and Martha are being hospitable in different ways, how they're being nice and welcoming and kind in different ways. I want us to see that both are good, but they do it very differently. So I think there's some really cool stuff here. So, let's read the story. Mary and Martha. Jesus and his disciples were traveling. Along the way, Jesus decided that they would visit with their friends, Mary and Martha. Now, Mary and Martha were sisters, and they lived together in a house. They got along very well, most of the time at least, like siblings do. While Jesus visited with them, Mary sat on the floor and listened to Jesus teach. You can see in the picture her sitting with Jesus learning. Martha, on the other hand, she was very busy. She didn't have time to sit down. She cooked olives, fish, bread. She cleaned, sweeping the floor, sweeping the dirt off the floor and shaking out mats. Martha worked hard to make Jesus' visit special. As she hurried around, she saw Mary sitting with Jesus still. She thought, why doesn't she help me with the cleaning? A few minutes later, Mary was still sitting as Martha continued to work. Martha got a little bit angry. She cleared her throat, thinking, Mary could at least help me get this meal ready. All of these people to feed, and she isn't helping me one bit. You can see in the picture she's looking pretty angry. Martha continued hurried around and getting angrier by the minute. As she swept, she thought, Mary knows how to use a broom. And as she cooked, she said to herself, I think my sister could at least stir this pot. As she got water and towels ready for cleaning Jesus' hands, she grumbled, all this company, and I'm doing all of the work. Finally, when she was still working and Mary was still sitting, Martha just couldn't take it anymore. She burst into the room and interrupted what Jesus was saying, put her hands on her hips, and said angrily, Mary, please get up and help me. She looked at Jesus. Jesus, tell Mary to get up and do something. Now Jesus stopped what he was doing, and everything was quiet for a minute. Finally, Jesus looked up at Martha. With love, he said, Martha, Martha, you are worried about every little thing. Thank you for your work to make my visit comfortable, But you do not need to worry about all these things. Mary has decided to sit and listen to me. And that is a good decision. Martha thought to herself, maybe I should just sit down and listen to what Jesus has to say. At least for a minute. Maybe Mary had a good idea. So she sat and she listened. And that was a good decision. So we've read in our story about Mary, the one who sat with Jesus, the one who was learning from Jesus, the one who was kind of present and just listening to his teaching, learning things. And then Martha was rushing around and getting things ready, making sure Jesus was comfortable and all the guests would have food and drink. And Jesus seems to say that she shouldn't do that. But I don't think that's what Jesus was saying. I think Jesus was simply saying, Martha, you need to sit and relax and learn as well. The helping and the doing things and the chores and getting things ready, those were good things. Those were helpful things. But she also missed sitting and learning from Jesus. And it's something that I tend to miss and that you may tend to miss too. We are too busy doing things or running around, whether it's getting things ready or just running around having fun, that we aren't paying quite as much attention to what we're learning about God or about ourselves. Both Mary and Martha were doing things that made Jesus feel welcome. They were being hospitable. They were being kind and welcoming and generous. They're doing good things. So, what I want you to do this week, and for parents in the room, this will be in the video description as well. I want you to kind of keep two lists. You can do it whether it's you writing it on a little sheet of paper and tearing it off and putting it in a jar, or you can just keep a running list. I want you to keep two lists this week. One list, I want you to write down the things that you're learning. Anything that you're learning. Maybe you're learning how to ride your bike a little better. Maybe you're learning how to draw better, an instrument, anything. Maybe you're learning something about God. Whatever you're learning, write it on the sheet of paper. And I want you also to keep a list of things that you're doing to help others. So this could be you help out a parent with a meal, or maybe you share something, or maybe whatever you're doing to help others, to share, to be kind, be welcoming, that word hospitable. So keep both of those lists. One list of the things you're learning, and then one list of kind of what you're doing to be kind and how you're helping. This isn't a competition between the two lists. This isn't you figuring out which one you do more and you're better at and focusing on one. I want you just to keep both, however long the list ends up being. And at the end of the week, look over them and thank God. Say, thank you for allowing me to do these things. Thank you for allowing me to learn these things. I hope as you go this week that you will learn about God and learn about yourself. I will see you soon.